Welcome to the Gamers Inn. Come on in, pull up a chair next to the fire. It looks like you've had a long journey. I'm your host, Jocelyn, and joining me, as always, is my co-host, Ryan. Hello, Ryan.
Hello. How's it going?
Not too shabby. How are things on your end of the interwebs?
It is hot. It's
It's
30
it's
degrees
hot.
here. Yeah. Can you believe that? Not to talk about the weather at the top of the show, but
How come you get 30 degrees? I'm at like 10.
well, they're cooking. They're cooking for a thunderstorm. They've been saying, "Oh, there's going to be a thunderstorm tonight," which I don't want to talk about weather. I think I'm going to an outdoor wedding on Saturday. Where's my wood? There we go. I really don't want. Where's my wood?
Where's my wood? Ryan,
Show
2015.
Show title. No. Yeah, they're calling for rain, so hopefully it gets it out of its system tonight. But I love thunderstorms. Can we just talk about thunder? When was the last time there was a good thunderstorm?
Halifax does not get good thunderstorms. It is 100% like an Ontario thing. I miss it so much. I remember like being a kid and being at the cottage and like sitting on the porch and like watching the thunderstorms like come across the lake. Oh, so good.
Yeah, lightning, thunderstorms. I remember even when I was a kid, like I was fast. I don't think I was ever afraid of thunderstorms because we lived by a railroad track. So like the thing that really scared you was the train going by at like 2 in the morning. Especially when the dick of a conductor would like blow the horn.
Well, they have to when they
Well,
cross a
sometimes they
level
wouldn't.
crossing.
But not 2 in the morning.
Yes, all of the time.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought that guy was just being an asshole. See, I wrote a bunch of letters to CN Rail, and like now I feel bad.
It's a safety thing. It's like, I'm a big train. I might crush you. Honk honk.
Honk honk. Well, I'm sorry, Mr. CN Rail. I'm sorry that I upset you. If I upset you, if my letters even got there, I don't know. My parents probably never sent them. So
I can just picture angry little like 6-year-old Ryan. And then you blew the horn and it woke me up. Stop blowing your horn.
it was just so loud.
Thanks, Ryan. We'll get this in the mail right away.
Yeah, just put it next to the letters. I was gonna. Yeah, I'm not gonna go there. You know what? We'll save the other angry letter discussion for another episode. I'm sure there were plenty. Oh, Sega, this isn't blast processing, you bastards. So,
Oh my god. Speaking of Sega, what the heck have you been playing this week?
I I've not been playing Sega games. Are you talking about a Sega? If we're gonna talk about a Sega, I could talk to you about a Sega. You remember Game Access? You remember that game rental?
I do.
So that all went back to February, the wonderful cold month of February, where you could expect the opposite weather, -30, and snowstorms. When the order came out, and we were having a discussion, you had ended up purchasing it, and I said, well, I think I'm gonna wait and try to rent it. So 3 months later, Game Access. I've had Game Access for a while, and I basically had it thinking, okay, I'm gonna have this Game Access. You go to GameAccess.ca. It's a rental service. They're by no means connected to the Gamers Inn. It's just something that I discovered when I said, where can I rent video games in Canada? And
Oh, Google.
yeah, Google's fantastic. We go way back. Ask Jeeves didn't come up with anything. So. But
Damn it, Jeeves! Why didn't you find my Game Access? I'm miming you writing a letter right now, just so you know.
right. Well, I told you we wouldn't get into the other angry letters. So anyways, how it works is you have a queue and you can like reserve games. So I paid for the reserve function, and you guys can look it up. We're not going to go into detail again, but I basically had the order reserved, and then I kept getting other games sent to me, or I'd never got the order. It was taking too long, so I'm like, screw it. I'm just gonna cancel it because I'm not getting what I want out of it. I call up. You have to call. It's like Microsoft, right? You have to call. So I call up and I'm like, I want to cancel. And it's like, oh, well, why are you canceling? It's like, well, I got it for a specific game and I haven't got that game yet. And I know that's not your guys' fault, but it's why I ordered the service. So it's not a fit for me. And they're like, well, what if we gave you a free month to try it a little longer and maybe get the game you want? I'm like, well, okay, fine. So then I decide, well, I'm not going to get the order. I'm going to reserve a Wii U title, Kirby and the Canvas Curse, which is a game I don't want to buy. I just want to kind of try it, you know. So
The
I
Kirby
add that
games
to,
are so funny.
Kirby games are a lot.
Yarn, canvas, like, oh, look out, so exciting, craft time.
Yeah, well, this Kirby game looks really cool because it's all claymation. You know, it's all made to look like everything's made of clay, which don't take my word for it. Look up like footage and photos, high-res photos of this. It looks fantastic. But the problem is that you're controlling with a stylus, so you're constantly looking at the gamepad as opposed to the nice, beautiful HD screen. So like Ashley's just going to be getting the show of her life, and I'm going to be sitting here scurrying on the little gamepad, not seeing jack shit. So that's fun. I didn't get that yet. Fast forward 3 months when I've had Kirby reserved for 3 months, and I call up again and I say like, this is the second time I've called and gotten a free month, and I'm saying like, yeah, it's just not working, guys. Like I've had this game in my queue for 2.5 months and I haven't gotten it. And I'm like, okay, well here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna add the second game option for free, and then we'll let you go from there. So they just kept giving me stuff to actually like use their service,
Which is
thinking
funny because you're not actually paying for it.
I'm
You're not paying for your monthly like cost. You're not paying for your second game. Like they're keeping you around, and you're not paying. Like you're not a paying customer.
I know, and I have I have every intention to cancel when I'm done with these games, because I did just get an email saying like we shipped your Kirby game, so now I have the order and Kirby from Game Access, the two games that I actually did want to rent. But again, it's just not. I'm impatient, I'm a gamer.
You don't want to wait 3 months for a game
No,
that you've already waited years for.
exactly. Like the Order 1866 or whatever it is. Is it 18? It's 1886.
1886, yeah. I was like, this looks wrong. What's going on?
Yeah, fix that. Thanks. So yeah.
In the end, you got the order, so that's fantastic. What do you think about it?
What do I think? Okay, so
Because you're now further than me, because, okay, I have a funny story about what I tried to do today. I got home from work. I was exhausted because I was up way too late last night on Gamers in Game Night streaming with the community, which is awesome, but bad. Yes, I definitely hated past Jocelyn this morning like I knew I would. Anyway, so I got home and promptly fell asleep. And then I woke up and it was like 8 o'clock, and I was like, okay, I have to actually, play the order because that's what we said we were going to do. Guess how long it took me to turn on my PlayStation?
I don't know, 5 minutes?
15. And I had to Google it. I literally could not remember how to turn on my PlayStation.
You just hold the controller down.
But my controller was dead. So I plugged it in. There was like a light on the top of the PlayStation, so I thought it was in like standby mode or something. So I plugged in the controller and nothing happened. And I'm pushing the PlayStation button and nothing happened. I tried pushing the little plate and I tried pushing all the buttons, and I was running my hands all over the PlayStation. I was like, it's probably one of those like light sensitive switches. I just have to like get the right spot. I'm like,
where's the genie? I mean, come on.
I was sitting there like rubbing my PlayStation, be like, come on, just turn on for me, okay?
This is a weird conversation.
I know.
I emulate what is this failfish emoticon in the chat? No, you could hover over emoticons in the Twitch chat room.
Yeah, and it tells you what the code is. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So anyways, eventually I had to Google it. And so I Googled it, and it literally like doesn't even send you to a web page. It's like just one of those like Google tips at the top, and it's like a big circle, like right next to the bar of light in the middle of the PlayStation is apparently a button.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel in my feeling of the PlayStation. And then so, as soon as I pushed the button, obviously it turned on, the controller lit up and started charging, but it took me 15 minutes to find it. And I was like, clearly I'm not using this system enough.
Yeah, you should Google how to accept friend requests as well.
I did that.
Oh.
But again, because I'm not in this freaking interface, it popped up and it's like, you have a new friend request. And I had 2 of them, and I was so excited because now I have 3 friends. 3.
Boom.
And I was just like, yay, I have friend requests. Where the hell are the friend requests? And I went into friends and it's like, you have no friends. And I was like, oh.
No online friends. I know you and Josh are friends.
Yes, me and Josh are friends. And now I have you, and I also have Matt. So, yay.
Perfect. Did Matt enjoy Smite last night? I left only after one game. He was Derpy Thor, so I wasn't sure whether he'd dig it or not.
really good time. We played until like I guess about 2 a.m. I think,
Jeez.
give or take. And yeah, no, he stayed in with us the whole time. It was a lot of fun.
You know, Matt has to work in the morning. You can't be keeping him up.
I
Like,
had to work in the morning too.
I feel slightly responsible for this man.
Why?
I don't know why.
He can make his own decisions.
Can he? Like, I don't know. Yeah.
Neither one of us can. Let's be
No.
honest.
Well, see, when I go to bed, I strongly hint, it's like, okay, I'm tired, guys. Maybe we should all go to bed. It's like 11. We should be responsible adults. What do you say? And then, no, everyone's just like, Ryan, go home, Grandpa.
I know, and I said that this morning. I was like, I really need to start going to bed when Ryan goes to bed because
Can you listen to me
the thing-
once and see what it's like? Just see what it's like. Just listen to me once on
when
game
you
night.
go to bed, it's like already midnight my time. Because if you decide you're going to go to bed at 11, I'm a whole hour ahead of you. So that's 12. That midnight is plenty.
I'm giving you the hour. Like,
know.
just I don't know what to do anymore. I feel like when I say, all right, I'm gonna go to bed, and then like the first 30 seconds is just everyone like, oh, it's too early, and then I'm sure after I hang up and be like, oh, I'm tired, I'm glad I'm getting out of here, they're all like, you know what, it is like midnight, and then you play one more game and then go to bed. But no, you actually
No, we stay up hours past when you leave.
I feel like I should set up like a script to like text you all while I'm sleeping. Like, hey guys, I've been asleep for a half hour now.
Don't
So,
you think that you should too?
yeah, we could call it like Papa Ryan or Old Man
Old
Murphy.
Man Murphy.
Yeah.
Oh, I just got a text from Old Man Murphy. He's telling me to stop streaming.
There's an app idea. I've been watching Silicon Valley. We were talking about that last
Oh
night.
yeah, so good.
Uh,
I'm all
we
caught
should go
up now.
pitch that idea. There's only 8 episodes in the first season.
Yeah,
It's pretty quick.
but yeah, no, it was so much fun.
Good.
But the order, how did we get away from the order again? Oh, right, my PlayStation thing. So, anyways, yeah, I tried to play the order, but then by the time I actually got the PlayStation on and figured out the friend request thing and everything else, I was like, well, I don't really have a whole ton of time now before Gamers In, so I didn't get a chance to play. So you are way ahead of me now in the order. What do you think now that you've actually got your hands on it and you've tried it?
Keeping in mind that I did rent it, and I feel like this game has value above a rental, but not at $70. Like, I feel like knowing how long it is, I feel like I'm about 3/4 the way through. What I feel like next week when we sum it all up after I've finished it, it'll be I already know what I'm gonna say. It's gonna be like, this is a 5-hour movie where the first 2 hours are really slow and not even setting up, just kind of like nonchalantly introducing you to this environment, this universe, and not really being heavy-handed about it, just allowing you to like literally crawl through it. The first 2 hours were very slow, but now I'm in the meat of it, and it's like it's really fast, it's really action-packed, it's drama, there's stuff happening, you actually feel for the characters, and the acting starts to like get really good. But I feel, based on people's reactions, I feel like this is the point where the carpet's ripped from under me, and it's like it's gonna end, right? And I kind of just want to know. I kind of want to know if there's a sequel, right? I don't want to get super invested in this and find out that they've made like 3/4 of a story. There is 100% of a game here, don't get me wrong, but 3/4 of I'm worried there's going to be 3/4 of a story, and I really want this engine to get another crack at it because it looks almost photorealistic, like Blizzard cinematic realistic, like from a few years ago. Their cinematic work has gone beyond this, but I think it's the best looking game I've ever played.
It is such a good looking game, and I mean, like I said, you're way ahead of me now, but that was one thing that I absolutely noticed right away is I was just like, man, it draws you in. It's so well done and pretty, like, oh, just graphically so nice. And I mean, I played Fat Princess and then just loaded up the start screen of the order, and I was like, wow, the difference.
Yeah, and can I say, like this game, it's very easy to find stuff to praise about it that other games just fail at miserably. Like, as a single player campaign, the ability to pause is fantastic. I can pause this game whenever I want. And that to me is a selling feature, right? Like if I can hit pause during cinematics, during cutscenes, during QuickTime events, during gameplay, and have it not affect my gameplay negatively, is just is unheard of these days. Where everything's got an online connection. Like if I were to pause Bloodborne, I'd die. If I were to like put my PS4 into rest mode, my save could be corrupted and it would kick me off the servers because it's online always if you choose that option. But The Order is just a really good, well-crafted single player game, and I feel like if it's sold enough, and we haven't heard of any layoffs at Ready at Dawn, so that's always a good sign.
True.
We could get a sequel that is 100% story and expands on the gameplay they've offered. And I love third-person shooters.
Yeah.
And this one, like I said, once you get through the first 2 hours, the shooting feels really solid. I don't think it felt solid in the first 2 hours because it was so sparse. It was only happening every once in a while.
I did really like the combat though when I got into it. It's been a while since I picked it up. Stupid Blizzard, just monopolizing my time. But
Sure.
But yeah,
Blizzard's fault.
It is. It's all Blizzard's
For
fault.
being so damn good.
Exactly. They need to give these other companies a chance.
I just wish Blizzard would fail once in a while. You know what I'm saying?
Even just a little. Just enough so
one
I
game.
could kind of go, not tonight. Tonight I'm going to turn on my freaking PlayStation for the first time since I got it.
Just spend 5 years, like, hard, painstakingly developing a game and just have it suck for once. That'd be great.
Just one time.
It's just what we're asking.
But, no, so, like, I mean, I just, I hadn't been into it so much, but I do remember really, really enjoying the combat, and I miss couch gaming, so I really think once I ended up subscribing to PlayStation Now, which for me is, like, super awesome because I never had a PlayStation 3. So PlayStation Now gives me access to games that I never bought in the first place. So I can go back and try, like, the Uncharteds and the, all the cool stuff that I totally missed out on. So I'm super excited. Although I did play, like I mentioned, Fat Princess. I decided to play Fat Princess instead of The Order, only because I knew I only had, like half an hour, 45 minutes. So I didn't really want to get into anything crazy. It's not that great, the streaming service.
Oh, that's too bad.
Fat Princess is a fairly simple game. So, I mean, I still freaking love it. I had a blast. Basically, like, you're a little dude in a castle and there's like all these different hat machines and you can put on a different hat at any time. And that's how you get your whatchamacallit, your class. So you can be like a priest, which is a healer. You can be an archer. You can be a melee warrior guy. You can be a worker. And then so you need a good balance of all of those, obviously, to do well. And then you've got the opponent's princess in your castle and your princess is in the other castle, and you have to feed the princesses cake so that they're really, really fat and then hard to carry. Because if they're really skinny, then you can run really fast when you're carrying the princess, because what you're supposed to do is break into the other castle, rescue your princess, and bring her back to yours. But it's really, really, really simple. The graphics are simple. The mechanics are simple. There's like, you literally press like 2 buttons. You press like the circle button to change your hat, and you press the square button to shoot and the X button to jump, and that's it. So, but even then, like 3 times in the half hour, and I have really, really good internet, 3 times in the half an hour, it got so choppy that like the whole entire screen was like those little square things.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, and then
like artifacts, right?
Yeah. To the point that I couldn't see where I was or what was going on. So I was just, and I was playing a single player game because there is multiplayer. Like you can jump into a match with, 20 or 40 people. And I'm just like, if there were 20 or 40 people trying to connect into Fat Princess right now, like I can't see how that would work at all. So I bought 3 months because 3 months was cheaper than month by month. In terms of the monthly cost, obviously 3 months cost more than 1 month. That wouldn't make any sense. But yeah, so I bought 3 months and I'm going to keep trying it. And I'm going to try it with different games and everything else. But if any of the other games, like I say, Fat Princess is really simple. It's small and shouldn't cause problems for streaming. If I jump into something like Batman, I'm really, really worried about the actual functionality of the service. So I don't. Have you tried PlayStation Now, Ryan?
I haven't. I'm tempted because there are like PS3 games that I would A like to revisit and B have never played before. Um, and I want to try it because I think that streaming games is kind of the future of like backwards compatibility. I find it odd that they would like start with PS3 games and not start with like something easy like PS1.
Hmm.
I just wish Nintendo would do that for their virtual console because like the problem with PS Now is like is a service, right? So you couldn't buy Fat Princess. You have to
No,
like
which I was
pay
so.
monthly.
Yeah, I was so upset about that because I was like, it was right as soon as I turned my PlayStation on, there was this big poster that said like Fat Princess, and I was like, ah, yay! And so I was just like, I clicked on it, and then it's like free with PlayStation Now. I'm like, that's great. Where's my buy option? And there is no buy option. There's just the PlayStation Now option. And I was just like, well, do I really want to pay, like $15 a month for 3 months to be able to play Fat Princess? And I was just like, yes.
Yeah. And I think the
Well,
Uncharted games are on the PS Now subscription. And I know you've said
there's
you've wanted to try those.
yeah, there's over 100 titles. Excuse me. Over 100 PlayStation 3 titles that are on PlayStation Now. So I was just kind of skimming through them really quickly, and I was just like, yeah, right off the bat, I can see, 5 or 6 games on the first, 3 or 4 rows of games that I would want to at least sit down and try. Some of them I've tried on other platforms, some of them I haven't. And I'm just like, you know what? I basically just, with $15 a month for 3 months, completely filled up my PlayStation library as if I had a PlayStation 3. Like, I don't have to, I have options now in the living room, and I didn't have that an hour ago. So I feel like I'm going to spend a whole lot more time actually sitting down and playing in the living room on the PlayStation and making use of that hardware cuz yeah, I haven't really at all since I bought it. So
Yeah, I'm just looking at the list here. There's a handy list on the PS Now subscription. Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine, if you haven't played that, that's a good one. Uncharted 1 and 2 is on here.
probably Infamous.
Probably, I would certainly suggest playing Infamous. That's Ratchet and Clank, a bunch of Ratchet and Clank games. Definitely play those. You're gonna have a busy 3 months ahead of you.
I know.
XCOM is on there.
I did notice XCOM. I know that there's at least one Batman, but I can't remember which Batman it was.
Arkham City, it looks like.
I think so. What's the one we just had? Origins, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Origins.
so I think it's the one before that. Which I do have on 360. And yeah, it's 40K. It's not 40,000.
It's listed here as 40,000.
Well, it's nobody calls it that, Ryan. Nobody calls it.
Well, I just did. I apologize. Pac-Man Championship Addiction Edition. That's a good one. It says here you can get a free trial.
Yeah, and I thought about
free
getting
trial.
a free trial, and then I was just like, just do it because there's lots of stuff I want to play. And it's good because whenever I sit down in front of my computer, I open up Battle.net and I play a Blizzard game, whether it's, WoW or Hearthstone or Heroes. Like, I am jumping into a Blizzard game when I sit in front of my computer. If I don't sit down in front of my computer, I will play stuff. So, like, outside of that universe. So I'm looking forward to being out there and less in here. Not that Blizzard games are bad. Blizzard games are fantastic. We actually had a really, really awesome raid night on Tuesday. We didn't have enough people and our comp wasn't right to actually go in and raid. So what we ended up doing was the 8 of us went into Ashran. And I've realized that I'm a really, really shitty PvE raid leader, but I kick ass as a PvP raid leader. Like, I'm just like, okay, we're going here, we're doing this, and then we're doing this and this and this, and you have to watch out for this, and everybody grab this stuff, and make sure you're doing this. Oh man, it was so much fun. And I was just like, I think I could be a better PvE raid leader if I went back and, tried to figure out mechanics of raids from way, way back in the day and just did them myself and pulled bosses and, tried to do all that kind of stuff. Because with PvE, I don't understand. I don't know everyone's class's stuff and, what they should be doing and when. And I'm getting a little bit better, but there's just so many other people in Raid that know their shit and I just don't. But in PvP, we play on an RP PvE server. So PvP is just something that nobody's done. So, I mean, I'm fully PvP geared in Conquest gear. I'm in Ashran all the time, so I know all the strategies and everything else. And on top of that, it's just like, I know which abilities from classes get used against me. So I can be like, oh yeah, make sure, you do this to this person and you do this to this person, because I know how much it sucks when it happens to me. But with bosses, like, bosses don't have like that kind of an interaction with you. The only way to learn a boss is to just play the boss over and over and over again, which I guess technically is how I've learned to play these players. But still, like, I mean, it's not, I don't know, it's so hard to get into a repetitive PvE experience, at least for me, because I find it really boring. But I can grind out Ashran like nobody's business. I could be in there for 8 hours and not even notice. So I had such a good time.
That's good.
Yeah.
And again, this is one of those games that is the culprit of many late in the evening, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Although I'm pretty good. I leave Warcraft pretty good. Most of the time, what keeps me up all night is either Hearthstone or Smite. But Warcraft I can walk away from. But yeah, no, Hearthstone and Smite are just brutal.
Smite's like that one more game, and then you get that one game with like the anime Bastet skin. It's like, nope, Alt F4. So, yeah, no one likes that. Except for Jimmy. Jimmy likes that. Jimmy, no.
No, Jimmy, no.
Jimmy, no.
But yeah, so I think that's what I've been doing this week. I mean, I raided Ashran and did Fat Princess, so...
It's been one of those weeks.
We did play Killing Floor again last night, and I've got to say, it's still fun. I was a little bit worried because we had a really good time the first night we played. I was worried that it would be the kind of like one-off thing that I went in, played, had fun, but never really went back to, because it's the same game mode over, like, nothing changes. It's the same bad guys, and it's, I think we've had 2 different maps that I can remember, the one with the snow and the one in Paris. Is there a third? I don't even know. But I thought it would get really boring and really repetitive very, very quickly. And it hasn't, because we still haven't beaten the boss. So, which I can't still understand. What's the point of beating the boss? Like,
it's like, you beat the map, right? You probably get more experience. You get an experience bonus.
Oh, I guess because your character levels stay with you, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess that's the reason then. Because I was just like, what's the point? Because you can't keep your money, you can't keep your weapons. So why grind out this game over and over and over again? But I guess, yeah, if you have XP, then it gets a little bit harder each time. But
yeah, and you progress your characters, you have fun with it. I mean, that game is just super satisfying. And again, it's another one of those titles where we'll play it, and then we slowly like drag the chat room into our fun. So I think by the end, like, each time we play one of these games, we get a couple people to pick it up, and I think we got Matt to pick it up, and he played. Yeah. We played one match, and then it was like, you want to play Smite? It's like, damn it.
And then I accidentally ended up welding him out of. We had this like little room that was all sealed off, right, and we were perfectly fine. And then so I sealed up the last door, and then was like, uh-oh, Matt's not in here with us, is he? And you can see through the glass doors. He's just running around the room outside by himself, getting swarmed. Like,
well, it's initiation,
sorry,
right? The new guy. You gotta lock him out.
You gotta learn to keep up with the group. That was clearly not my fault.
Yeah, and I remember just figuring out, like, oh, I welded a door, and now we're trapped in this little hallway. How do we unweld? And we sorted it out.
Yeah, we figured out how to unweld after a while, but...
Yeah, we were thinking, oh, man, you can't unweld? What is this early access bullshit? We were panicking.
I think that's something I keep forgetting, is that it is early access. So, even though there's only, at the end, Jim said we played one session in the biotics lab. So, I mean, there's 3 maps then. And eventually there would be more game modes, more bosses, everything else. But yeah, it is still early access, which I keep forgetting. So
yeah, and I'm such a fan of like slow motion in video games, and in terms of like multiplayer, this game I think does it really well. Sometimes it can be jarring. Where like, I was mid reload and I'm just like super like slow mo reload, which is unsatisfying when like monsters are surrounding you. But when you got a full clip and it goes slow mo, it's like, all right, let's go to town, and you just pop. It's so good.
Actually, for me, it's more like slash
Yeah, you're a
hack
melee character,
head.
and I remember someone threw a grenade like right as the slow-mo started, and you just saw this like explosion
Yeah,
of it's gory,
it's
body
really
parts and
gory.
blood. It's super fun, and it's like it doesn't take itself seriously, so it's like Evolve in that all the characters are just constantly like
Quipping and
quipping
yeah,
nonsense back and forth, but it's really good, and I can't wait to see where they go with it because if this is like their early access bid, um, and just the DLC they put out for Killing Floor, the support that they put out for that game, I can't wait to see what they're planning to do with Killing Floor 2. And the same thing with Dungeon Defenders too,
yep.
like just the support that they're planning on giving to this in early access and the additions, even though I still can't boot that game up for some reason, still working that out
Yeah.
with support. But I just, these are the type of early access games where it's like, no, guys, don't shit all over early access. Some of these games are using it to their benefit.
Very true.
Um, I don't
Chat
think
room is
it's,
making fun of me right now because they're saying I had a little bit too much fun hacking all of the things.
yeah, there was a point where we just like slowly slinked away from the hallway of doom or the tunnel of blood. I
Tunnel of
can't
death.
remember. Tunnel of death. I knew it was one of those.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah, it's it's pretty nuts. Many
Like, it
butts.
was just so much fun and so satisfying. And I'd had such a week where I was just like, you know what? I just need to wreck something. And I did. And it was
Yeah.
fun. So sue me. I'm supposed to have fun. It's a game, right?
Yeah,
Right?
we were having fun. I think it's one of those games where you're rewarded for going to town on killing these things and just shooting heads off and slicing body parts and the thing is
Exactly. When I slice a head off, it's a crit and it looks freaking awesome. So get on board, chat room. Get on board.
yeah, and this is one of those games that truly does reward you for a headshot minus just like XP. When you strategically take some of those zombies' heads off, not only do they sometimes some of them just like flat out die, but others like the bigger dudes, when you shoot their head off, they're still a viable opponent, but you take away their special ability, right? Like
Right.
the big guys, they spit stuff at you. It's probably some sort of bile mixture. And when you shoot their heads off, like they can't do that anymore, and they're just like big giant blobs of shoot me. So yeah, I really like this game, and I can't wait to play more of it.
Yeah.
I promise we'll play more of it, Kearney. Don't worry about it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
He's listening right now, and he wants that assurance.
So I just wanted to remind everyone that Ryan and I really appreciate your continued support of our show, along with the support of our sponsor, Doghouse Systems. You can use the code TheGamersIn to upgrade to an SSD when you purchase a new gaming rig. Head on over to doghousesystems.com and get your order on. Which brings us to our topic of the week this week, and we are talking about Nintendo partnering with Universal Parks. The stuff that they're doing is starting to get crazy. It's like they're finally cluing in to the fact that, like, Mario and Zelda and Pokemon are like stupidly popular and should be leveraged in every possible way because we'll buy all the things. So first we had mobile games and now we're going to have Nintendo theme parks? Yes, please.
Well, see, and that's the other thing. Like, this is similar to what Harry Potter did. Like, they shopped around their IP to these many parks and resorts. And Universal Parks and Resorts, which is, they have one in Florida, I believe.
I
I've
know
never
I'm
been.
going to get to go in October because Garrett's
Oh,
getting
cool.
married. So I'm going to be down in Florida and I'm going to get to go to Harry Potter Land and I don't think I'm ever going to leave.
Yeah, Harry Potter Land. I hear it's a really nice place to stay.
I'm going to get a wand.
Oh, they give you wands? Do they put a sorting
Well,
hat
I don't
on
think
you?
they give you anything.
Oh, you have to buy. You're gonna buy a wand.
Yes. Of
Is it
course.
gonna have like phoenix feather innard whatever?
Well, I don't
can't
know
remember.
because the wand hasn't chosen me yet. God, Ryan.
I don't know how this works. Well, I do. I shouldn't lie. I've seen all the movies. I've read all the books. No, it's interesting to see Nintendo doing these partnerships, and this is why it's so great that Nintendo is failing because
It's
at their
making
main
them branch out.
it's making them think outside the box, you know, and looking at these partnerships as not like a selling out, but as a opportunity to build their business, right? Like part of the going with the mobile partnership was about building their business, making their characters accessible and as many platforms. They're doing what Disney does, right? Like Disney started like as cartoons, and it's like, well, how can we make our cartoons even more accessible to the audience? Like, well, let's build a theme park, let's do movies, let's do video games, TV shows, X, Y, Z, all through the alphabet of what they're doing to get their characters out there, right? And now Nintendo's looking at Nintendo is essentially the Disney of video games in that they have this stable of IPs that anyone would give their right foot for. Like Sony does nothing compared to Nintendo. Same with Microsoft. Like Halo is just it's just a freaking dude in a robot suit. Like that's not gonna sell parks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's not gonna do it. Like at best you'll get a movie out of that thing, but that's it. But Nintendo is just so much opportunity here, and I gotta say, if we don't get a Mario Kart bumper, like
Oh my
bumper
God.
ball,
I can't
whatever.
wait to actually legitimately in real life drive a cart. Like it's gonna be so much fun, especially if you can like shoot things at your opponents and stuff. Like real life Blue Shell? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, and I wonder like how that would work. I wonder if they could combine like laser tag with Mario Kart in that you would because you have to have line of sight, right? And you would just target. I'm sure it exists, and depending on what item you use, it leaves like a virtual like banana peel on the cart, and you have to like avoid it by looking at your HUD or something. Like the technology's there,
Yeah.
and that's why Nintendo is partnering with Universal because all they have to do is be like, dude, here's our IPs. Go nuts. Of
Mm-hmm.
course we'll have final approval. We're not going to let you do like a Mario Peach kissing booth or something. I couldn't think of anything like what else would they do?
They're gonna make the big castle. You can actually go to like Peach's castle and like, oh, it's gonna be so good. And then like, what about like, because I was trying to think of like what kind of rides and stuff that they could do. And
Yeah.
can you imagine like a kind of like an on rails type of a ride where you go through and it's like you have like some sort of like laser something that's like your Pokeball and you have to like catch all the Pokemons as you're going through like the forests and stuff. Like, oh, it'd be so much fun.
I-
Like, oh my God, there's Pikachu! Pew! Oh my God, I got
Pokemon
Pikachu!
Snap. That's
Yeah.
what they need to do. Is just make a Pokemon Snap game where they have like Universal. If you're listening to this, like I'm sure this news came out yesterday, and I'm sure people, all the ideas were spouting like it's been done to the nines. I'm sure, but it's just so fun to like kind of think about it, and that going through a track like Jurassic Park. And you've got like the little swivel thing where you're aiming, you're looking through a viewfinder, and it's AR where you can see the Pokemon and you're like, oh, take a picture. It's like,
Yeah.
well, here's your points you got, and then you can choose which ones you want to print out at the end of the thing. It's like, oh, I want to go through again because I didn't get a good picture of Charizard.
Yeah. Oh man. And then like the other thing I was thinking of was like, what if they did like Space Mountain, which I know is Disney, but Mario Galaxy? Like indoor like roller coaster ride through Mario Galaxy.
Yeah, that'd be solid. I mean, there's a lot of opportunity here, and it doesn't just have to be.
I couldn't think of anything for Zelda. I was so disappointed in myself.
Yeah, but Zelda's a good one in that you could do like live shows with Zelda, like they do with Indiana Jones, or the Star Wars show, right? It doesn't have to be a ride. It
No,
can be an
no, Zelda
experience.
has to be a ride, Ryan.
Well then, okay, fine. Like, what is it then?
I don't know. This is my problem.
What if it's like a 3D moving theater? Would that be cool? Like, I think that'd
No.
be neat. No, I don't know what you do then. Like, try to think about it. Like, what is there? Like for Zelda, you could do like the
Unless
herding
there was
game.
like,
Twilight
what if there was
Princess.
like a big like maze kind of thing or something that you could like go adventuring in Hyrule and it was like this big thing and you had to like find stuff and collect stuff and that would be good. I just want this now.
too, but the problem is that they're talking like this is very early concept phase, right?
I don't want concept phase. I want Jocelyn, you can go there in October.
But this proves that Nintendo's interested in like they want to stick around. This is the scrappy Nintendo's. It's like we're making announcements that you're not going to see the light of day for another 2 or 3 years because this is us forward thinking. It's not just about like they've realized we can't just be a console manufacturer. We still want to be a console manufacturer, but when you look at other companies like Sony and Microsoft, they are supplementing their losses from those businesses with other like they got Windows, they got, well, Sony's actually the opposite. They're actually doing really well with their gaming, and everything else is siphoning from those bank accounts. But it's all like a working ecosystem, right? Yes, it's very nice. I'm getting an off the side look of dresses here.
Oh,
But,
I see.
yeah, going to a wedding tomorrow.
Luigi's Mansion actually would be really cool as like a haunted mansion type thing. That would be fantastic.
Luigi's Mansion. There's actually
Rupee
a
hunts. Yes, Blood Anubis in the chat room is a genius. Hunt for rupees. Love it.
Is it just like you're in a room? It's like there's a bunch of pottery, and it's like go
Just
nuts.
start smashing stuff. They're like, no, you're not really supposed to break it.
But yeah, bumper cars. That is Mario Kart. Manny, that's a shoe in. Like that's gotta happen.
I don't know. I think I would rather some sort of racing cart thing than a bumper cart thing for Mario Kart.
Do both.
I feel like you could theme bumper cars with something else, like
like F-Zero maybe. No, that's not right. Like battle mode in Mario Kart. But I don't know.
yeah.
Ooh, chicken. You just beat the chickens until a bunch of chickens come out.
Beat the chicken? What?
Like in Zelda, where you like slash they're not gonna give you a sword to literally kill chickens, but they're gonna let you kick them a bit.
It's like there's no chickens in Mario Kart or bumper carts. What are you talking about?
I don't know. Fusion Frenzy? Nah, that's not Nintendo. But the Mario Party, there's got to be a lot of
Yeah, I was thinking like
comparisons there.
Mario Party. They could actually do a lot of stuff in Mario Party. I think would translate quite well to something you could do at a theme park. Like I'm thinking like, knocking people off of stuff with like a big foam thing, like American Gladiator style. That would be so Mario Party. I'm trying to think of what the other little mini games are. I feel like there's a lot of mini games in Mario Party that involve you bouncing on stuff. So you could do stuff with trampolines.
Okay. The chat room's doing really well with this. I'm trying to think of what are other like franchises that Nintendo has in their
Metroid?
stable that we're not Metroid's a good one. Like I think Metroid would work really well as a roller coaster.
Oh, yeah.
As you like you could even have it just the roller coaster being you're in the Samus's ship and you're racing through space and like shooting things. It could be very Star Wars-esque. And then at the end, you just get shot and you lose all your powers, and you go back on the race again to find all your powers. Rinse, repeat.
And
Yeah,
Ping Pong
no,
Pete in the chat room is right. They did have some sort of hamster ball mini game in Mario Party, and I would not be opposed to running around in a hamster ball. So I think, yes, Nintendo, Universal, do that, please.
Yeah. Blood Anubis is saying animatronic Pokemon Zoo. Now, I've been watching game theorists Five Nights at Freddy's videos lately.
And
I don't know if I want animatronics.
no, I still have not gotten up the balls to play that game. I think one of these days when, we're raising money for something or there's some good reason where
Just stop. No, don't say that. Don't finish it, because then we'll have to. There's going to be 4 games out by the time Extra Life comes around this year.
So we're going to have to do a marathon of Five Nights at Freddy's.
What are you doing? This is
Oh,
live.
come on. Our chat room, they are so smart. They would have come up with that.
I thought you were going to say, like, our chat room won't remember next week. Come on.
No, I'm saying that if all those games came out, then we had to do Extra Life, and we were like, oh, maybe we should do a scary game segment or something. They would think of this. I'm just, yeah, it's inevitable. So I'm just putting it out there now. I'm saving us time.
Is Mario Golf too easy? Like a
Oh yeah,
Mario
there has to be a Mario Golf mini
golf
putt. Yeah,
section?
has to be.
Okay. 5 shots at Freddy's. Oh, so what? Every time you get killed, you take 5 shots. Is that how that works?
No, you have to take 5 shots before you start playing any Freddy's games.
Yeah. Smash Brothers. It's just 4 people in a ring battle to the death. Sometimes they'll throw like baseball bats and the weird like Mr. Saturn character that you throw at each other.
Actually, this idea from Blood Anubis is really cool. Like a Hall of Fame themed after like a Super Smash Brothers Hall of Fame with statues that gives you a history of all the characters. Because I think that is important. Like Nintendo is obviously very, very well known. A lot of people know the story of, Mario and Peach and Link and Zelda and all the rest of it. But at the same time, like if you're making a theme park, you really should have some sort of a something, like you have to give everybody the information, because like if parents there with their kids, or like even kids that haven't possibly potentially played all of the games before or aren't familiar with older franchises and or where they came from originally, like, oh man, I'd be in that Be all over that.
Yeah, like Nintendo already has something like that, so I don't think it. I think it's sorry. I think it's a shoe-in for something like to have if you're gonna have a Nintendo zone of a Universal theme park, you're gonna have like the center of it be a visitor center information place, similar to the Nintendo World Store that is like half store where you can buy exclusive merchandise and half like memorabilia and information, right?
Where is this? Where's
It's in New
Nintendo
York.
World? Oh,
Yeah, New York, New York. That's where they
interesting.
like. I've never been. I want to go. It's more realistic that I'll be able to go to like the Nintendo World Store than like actually go to any of their headquarters. And mind you, why would I want to go to their corporate headquarters? Mine is to work. If I could work there, that'd be great. But I wouldn't want to just go and be like, you can only see the foyer and the snack room, and even half the snack room is blocked off because most of our snacks are themed after products that are coming out in the next 2 years. It's like great. So now I can only get a cheap cup of coffee from this broken machine or stare at this poster of Reggie Fils-Aimé just looking at me sternly. Like that's not very fun. But at least at the Nintendo World Store, I can buy shit that you can't buy anywhere else.
True.
So
True.
I really like this idea. I
Mega
might be
Man laser
kinda-
tag. Love it. Love it.
See, you guys are going off base here. Bomberman, Mega Man, like these are not Nintendo platforms. Just because they're in Smash
laser
doesn't mean
tag. Laser tag.
you could do a Samus laser tag. I'm just looking at this is handy. IGN here has like just all the characters from Smash Brothers listed here. Like Pokemon's a good one. Kirby, I don't know what you do for Kirby. Kirby could be a racing game with if you give bumper cars to Mario Kart, you could make Kirby a racing game with their like
No,
their star thing.
give Kirby the bumper cars. Mario Kart needs to be a race. If I can't race on a Mario Kart racetrack, I'm gonna be so upset. Like you don't like I will not go if they don't make a freaking Mario Kart race. I need to race.
Fox is a good one. Star Fox. I wonder if you could do some good stuff with that. That's probably it's still spacey, so you could maybe do like a Star Wars type virtual reality, like really cool cockpit type view. Kirby knitting classes for grandma. Man, Kirby's a great franchise. Kirby will probably be a restaurant. Boom, Josh, you nailed it.
Yeah, Josh
The
knows all
Kirby
the things.
restaurant. You get Chef Kirby on all your menus and your advertising. You sell like all the food that ever appeared in a Kirby game that covers everything you need. Boom, there's your restaurant.
No,
Star Fox would be
not
one of
Mario Kart bumper carts. No.
okay, well, fine. We'll give you Mario Kart as the racing. Bumper cars will like do that bumper ball game from Mario Party that was like the only good Mario Party game. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So if you want to show off your TGI pride, you can head on over to slashloot.com. That's SLASH loot.com to grab yourself a Gamers Inn t-shirt. They have tons of other awesome shirts, including all of your other favorite podcasts like Azeroth Roundtable, Torn, Think Tank, Zombies Ate My Podcast, and The Angry Chicken. So go to slashloot.com and show off your podcast pride. That pretty much brings us to the end of our show this week. We wanted to say thank you to our patron of the week this week, who is Ignatium. Thank you very much. We wanted to let everybody know that the April Hangout is actually up on the feed now on YouTube for everyone. And it's also the audio versions on our iTunes feed, right, Ryan?
Mm-hmm.
Ryan does all the audio things.
You can download the audios. People already have. You're missing out if you haven't.
And then our May Hangout, we haven't actually set the date yet, but it is going to be a thing. So thank you very much to all of our patrons for making that possible. We don't have any email this week, but we still have 5 Heroes of the Storm beta keys. So again, if you guys want to jump into the storm, dude, did you see that video, that announcement video today?
No, what?
Oh,
Did they
man.
do like skins and stuff?
Yeah, so they announced 2 new heroes. So Kelthus, who we already knew as of a few days ago, but then the Crusader from Diablo, that was added as well, and totally like, you know, drop the mic type, nobody knew it was coming, and then it was the second thing featured in the video. A bunch of different skins. There's like a Martian skin for Gazlowe that looks really cool. But the thing that I am super excited about is that you're going to be able to ride a Hearthstone card like a Magic Carpet.
Right.
It's good, a Hearthstone card mount.
Okay.
So cool.
Like a carpet thing.
Yeah.
So new heroes. Oh man. Yeah,
New heroes,
I
new
saw the
skins.
Kel'Thus stuff.
Yeah.
But I didn't see the other hero.
Yep.
Oh, what
So
is
I
this?
think her name is Joanna. I think she's the Crusader. I feel like there were a
Oh,
couple of other skins, but there was nothing like the Martian Gazlo skin sticks out because I remember thinking it was pretty cool. Um, I can't think of any of the other skins that were announced, but there was a really cool like golden tiger. I have no idea how they're going to, or like how you're going to be able to get it. It's just going to be something you buy, but man, the golden tiger looks so cool. But yeah, the Hearthstone card back, it was like there was like a classic card back version, the legend card back version, and then I feel like it was Pandaria,
right.
I think.
Weird to just switch them right over WAD, eh?
So I mean, if we could have a Hearthstone card back as a mount in WoW, I think I would pretty much that would be the end of it. I would just
I think that breaks WoW though. I hope they
I
don't
don't
do
know,
that.
because there's Hearthstone in WoW. Like there's the
Yeah, but
toys.
a flying card?
Yeah, I don't know.
I guess there's flying carpets.
Exactly. There's already a flying carpet.
Blizzard.
So I don't
You
know.
you
I
gotta
don't
do.
know if you could do that. Because that's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm just like, Hearthstone is actually in Warcraft. So there's precedent for having Hearthstone in Warcraft.
Maybe.
But a flying carpet is like a thing, like a flying playing card, not so much. But they're like, I don't know. For lore reasons, I don't know if it fits, but man, it would be so good.
It fits well in Heroes, so let's try it there, see how it works.
Ben Brode is in WoW. That's what I mean. Like, you can have a Hearthstone game board, you can have a winning hand, you can have a Hearthstone card. Ben Brode is in there. I think it could be just an enchanted. Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe.
I want it so bad. Someone sent me a message today and was like, "Oh my god, did you see the Hearthstone card back mount?" And I was like, "What?" And I immediately thought it was a Warcraft thing, and then I found out it was a Heroes thing, which is, it's fine. I play Heroes. It's great. I'm going to get it. No problems. But I was just like, man, I want it in Warcraft.
Can you buy it, or do you earn it just by doing
don't know.
Hearthstone stuff?
I would imagine it would probably be some sort of a crossover thing like the mount in Warcraft was. Like, win a certain number of games, or, like, I feel like it's got to be a crossover thing. I don't know if they would just straight up be like, throw money at it and have a Hearthstone thing.
Well, hopefully.
But
I don't know. I think it's really cool how they're sort of intermingling all their stuff.
Yeah.
And
But then,
man,
I think they're intermingling stuff without actually breaking any of the stuff, which I really, really like. And Josh in the chat room is saying, someone playing a Hearthstone game accidentally spills a vial of elixir of growth on a card. Boom, mount.
well, maybe.
There you go,
I
Josh.
guess.
You fixed it all. Thank you.
Nailed it.
Oh, so nailed it. But anyways, yeah. So if anyone wants to jump into Heroes of the Storm, we do still have beta keys. So hit us up on any of our social media. You can grab us in chat right now at twitch.tv/amovetv. If you are currently listening to our audio only stream on Alpha Geek, head over to Twitch, hit us up on Facebook, on Twitter, Google Plus, if anyone is actually over there.
I haven't checked it in a while.
I haven't
Blow the
checked in a while
cobwebs off
either.
that bad boy.
And also by email, just, hit us up, let us know you want to play, and we'll shoot a beta key over to you, which does it for tonight. You can visit us on the web at gamersinpodcast.com. You can also find us on Amove TV, along with other fabulous podcasts, including StarCast, Into the Nexus, and The Angry Chicken. You can follow us on Twitter. You can find me, Jocelyn, at GISGamer. Ryan is at R Murphy, and don't forget to follow the show at The Gamers Inn. The video versions of all our episodes can be found on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Jocelyn Moffat. You can also find the show on Facebook and Google+. If you'd like to email the show and let us know what you think about Nintendo pairing up with Universal, you can do so at info@gamersinpodcast.com. Thanks for staying at The Gamers Inn, and remember, tune in next week. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.